I'm gonna show this for a minute. Hello. Testing. Am I online? I don't think so. Okay, there's my mic. Hello. I'm still setting up the new computer. I had to go into a forum for OBS to learn why I wasn't getting video. So I'm testing the video out right now. What a better way to test it than on some nice rocket launch that they do every 3 days now. I want to see when it hits the liquid nitrogen what happens. So let's just see this real quick.
The vehicle just passed through MaxQ, which is the point of maximum aerodynamic pressure on the vehicle. As you can hear in the background, the excitement is
They're smart to go back to the night one so you can't see it level out when it drops back in the water. But let's see what this baby does. And they'll be clicking the CGI anytime. It's already been a couple minutes, so they're allegedly up high in the air. I just find this entertaining. So, I had to test my OBS graphics. I'm hoping I'm online. I didn't check yet. Hang on. Let me take a look. You guys just kick back and watch this fake ass rocket. It's a real rocket, but it ain't going to Mars or wherever the hell they say.
shortly after that, the Berlin vacuum engine on the bottom of the second stage of the Falcon 9 will ignite in what we call second engine start, or SES. That'll be at 2 minutes and 46 seconds. So stand by for main engine cutoff, stage separation, and second engine start coming up in just about 20 seconds from now.
Okay, I'm not hearing anything. Hang on. Alright, let me, I gotta fix the audio from the software. Hang on one second. This is why we do tests. Hang on.
You can hear from the cheering here at SpaceX headquarters. We did have a successful main engine
The
cutoff.
desktop audio is on.
And as you can see on the right-hand side of your screen, that's
Why is it not coming through?
engine is currently started.
Alright, let me, I gotta fix the audio from the software. Hang on one second. This is why we do tests. Hang on.
Let's go down to Lauren and Dan for updates on that first stage recovery.
The desktop audio is on. Why is it not going through? That's the wrong one. Oh, this is aggravating. Why is this not coming through?
Stage 1 is going to coast its way back down using those grid fins to help steer it, and then it'll execute the landing burn. That's going to happen at T plus 9 minutes and 24 seconds. That's where we're going to reignite that center E9 engine to hopefully bring stage 1 down.
That's my mic. Oh, gosh, this is aggravating. Alright, well, let's let you see this. I don't know what's wrong with my audio from the software yet. Hang on. Let's take a look at this fake shit. Are they in the CGI yet? Yeah, they're already up in, That's my mic. Yeah, it's probably better you can't hear the audio on this anyways, but... This is hilarious. Stage 2 telemetry. So that means the other thing's already on its way back down to land on the water with no guide fins or anything like that. Those little step ladders they got on the side of it. There's no way that would control a pencil falling from the sky. But whatever. Oh, they got the fake dummy in there. Yay! Ha That looks like the same dummy they put in the SpaceX car. And I think they used that little fake globe. See the globe that they're throwing in your face? It's sitting in the other chair. So when it goes to gravity free, it's going to float. That's why they have that in the camera shot. This is hilarious. This is better than watching any cartoon or whatever. But let's see what they do here. We're going to see this until it gets to all CGI. We're going to show the planet and everything in CGI. This is hilarious. And they're going every day with the new, every day they're on Twitter. NASA's on Twitter all the time. And they're really doubling down on the moon crap. They're making a new CGI, just so you know. A CGI reenactment of the moon landing because they lost all the moon tapes and all the telemetry tapes. 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 pounds of tapes were not only lost, but they first recycled them. And this all came up because Ohio, the state of Ohio, came up with a grant. I think it was 200 grand, and they gave a grant to a real, like, not amateur, but mid-level producer of movies and docufilm. And they said, dude, go freaking get the tapes, get everything, and show that this moon landing happened. So basically, they gave him 200 grand budget through the taxpayers of Ohio. Thank you, Ohio. And you watch the video, and in the end, he's like, I don't know if we went. So he got paid to come up with a conclusion that they went, and he still can't verify it. So, and if you watch the part where he goes to the records division of NASA, and the guy is stumbling over his dick about where the tape went, how they reused it. The government was poor back in the 70s, and they had to reuse the tapes. Look at this fake ass shit. Look at these fins. That's like a tennis racket. You got 3 tennis rackets on this rocket, and that's going to stabilize it as it drops from the atmosphere. After it re-enters, by the way, that metal doesn't melt, so it's probably some special metal, some CGI metal. And now this clown thing is going to land on the left side. Oh, the lights went out. Oh, no, it happened before. Right when it goes to land, they cut out. How silly. This stupid technology. I know I have problems with OBS, the free software. I'm sure NASA's using something. They probably paid $100 for some shitty software. I mean, it's hard to get the cameras to coordinate. There it is. It just landed. Now you won't see it. Now they're going to cut back to it, and there'll be smoke coming from the ground, and one view from like a half a mile away, and you'll believe it really happened. This is how they program you. Okay. Oh, they shut the gas, and that's a lot of fuel, by the way, too. I mean, just from that thing's been burning for 9 minutes straight. That little gas tank on that thing. But I'm not a rocket scientist, so maybe there is enough fuel on there to get up that high, which obviously there has to be some fuel on there because it goes up and then lands in the ocean. What I would like to see is somebody go out and capture that thing falling in the water, and the real deal, not the CGI shit. But I bet you they have, look at this thing floating in the water out here. Here it comes. Now they're showing you the replay. Oh, it gets too whited out. Oh, man. And now they play the applause like the old Archie Bunker shows. Don't you remember they had the applause button? Unstable video connection. Of course I still love you, it says. What a slam in your face. Oh, hit the like button. Yeah, I like that. They're advertising on their fake rocket landing. I'll tell you what, go get a gyro thing with the camera, a little kid one. They got them where they're actually stabilized now. You try to land that on a little tiny pad in the lake in the backyard or wherever you live by. Go try and do that. Oh, it's floating. Oh, the little globy's floating. Oh, how cute. They don't have any good cable connection on the pad here. Now, I could say maybe that's true, right? But they're still recording. See, if you don't do your own editing and your own production of your own channel, you may not know this. So you're going to say, wow, the thing cut out. They got a bad signal. Well, that's fine. That's okay. Because there's still hard recording in the background. So later today, like in 10 minutes after they finish the fake landing, they can upload the hard file, and then you would see the entire thing. There would be no cutouts. But they will never do that. And you will never question it. You will go, yes, master, this is true. Those three little fins guided it from entering the atmosphere, re-entering the atmosphere, and guided it down with 3 tennis rackets to keep it stable. If you believe that, no wonder you guys are all happy and on all this medication to make you happy and all that, because you have to be. If you can't see reality, that 3 tennis rackets on the side of this big-ass rocket is enough to stabilize a rocket coming down onto a needle in a haystack little pad in the middle of the ocean, when you can't even get GPS to get you from here to Chicago without screwing up 3 times on the way there. So, amazing technology that they have that we don't have access to. That's the first thing. So I'm aggravated about that. Why don't we get some of this technology? And 2, it's just hilarious. This is the best comedy I've seen in a long time. Best comedy you're going to see right here. So now they're showing you this crap because they're switching over to the CGI for the thing to show the floating globe. They probably had a problem. See how the globe was just sitting in the seat? They didn't put enough helium in the balloon. So right now there's an idiot running inside the little capsule on the studio, and he's filling it up with fresh helium. And in a minute, this is live by the way, in a minute they'll cut back to the fake shuttle thing that's up in the air. This capsule is now up in the air supposedly. And then they're going to show you that balloon globe floating around the room. Watch. Because when we left, or when they cut away, it was kind of trying to float in the chair, but it couldn't get up. So they probably used stale. Somebody didn't put fresh helium in there. So they're going to run back, go fill it up with helium, and then we're going to cut back to it. Now it's been a while, and you'll see it floating around the capsule. That's my guess. Now, I'm not a NASA or Dragon. Look at the dragon, the devil. If you don't see the symbols, at least, the snake dragon, NASA uses a snake for their logo, the tongue. What's his name from Hitler? His top agent. One of his top agents. These are SS officers that we brought here. Paperclip, I think it was called. You won't want to read Paperclip, because then, see, this is why I talked to, and I'm starting to see the cognitive bullshit in live action. When I'm talking to somebody and I say, listen, right now on your phone, go to Chrome or whatever, get on Google and type in Operation Paperclip, for example, and then look up how they sent 3,000 SS officers to America to become our top doctors, our top researchers, our top medical company, and they invented and started NASA. So if you were to go and look that up, you would go, oh my God, my head's going to pop, because all this information is just too crazy, right? So you then say, no, I'm not going to go look at it. Oh, I believe you, and then they laugh at you, and then they go make fun of you to their friends. This idiot thinks paperclip. There were paper clips falling out of the Nazis, and they don't even get it because they have to hide it in their head. See, the little balloon ain't floating yet. Hang on. I thought they were gonna fill it up with helium. Something's wrong because it was trying to float a minute ago. This is hilarious. Now they're talking about the shape of the earth. I gotta mute the background. These guys, now see, this is why they're going doubling down, and they're worried. These guys are doing these scams more and more because they're worried that there's a handful of us over the target, so to speak, that are calling their bullshit, and they don't like it. And just this fake ass dummy. What's the whole point of this? To show what? That they can send a dummy into space? They already sent a fake ass car up into space, which it didn't go into space. It sat in a lab, or in a video lab, whatever you want to call it. Look, yeah, they're showing you now all the technology. They got a car dummy in there. That's what's inside that spacesuit. And that way they can now know what it's going to feel like for the astronauts when they come back and drop into the water and all this bullshit. I mean, yeah. Oh, what I was going to say is the Nazis, or NASA, either one, you could interchange the word. It's the same group of people that run and started NASA are SS officers. These aren't just regular Nazis. These are the elite officers that were in charge of killing people, according to the story. So it just blows my mind that we brought all them here under the protection of U.S. government, gave them fake names, or I guess they used their real names, but nobody knew about it. So all the warriors that came back from World War II that died at Iwo Jima and all these other places and thought they were there to stop this scam, if they knew, if my grandfather knew that when he came home, the Nazi SS was already here before he even got his gear off in setting up these corporations, NASA and all these other ones, the FDA, all these other scams, they're in charge of everything. It just blows your mind. Nobody believes it. They won't look it up. Look it up. No. Because then what do you do? What do you do in your own mind when you read the actual document from your own government that says, yeah, we did it. Kiss our ass. And that gets you into all the FF stuff. And, you know, it happens all the time. You just got to take it with a grain of salt. And that's cool. I mean, this is what they do. You need to just be aware of the fact that people lie to you. And that's just a fact. And people in high places lie to you. And people get killed for not going along with the program when you're in this level that these guys are in. So when you say that there's no way someone can keep a secret, oh, hell yeah, there is. Hell yeah, there is. If they got anything they love in this world, they'll be able to keep a secret. Believe me. There's ways to persuade people to keep secrets. So, and if you believe there's not, then you just haven't been outside of your little community or world that you live in. So, anyways, here they're going to go with the propaganda. I don't know why they're wearing masks. I guess make it look a little more scary. This is all propaganda. And it's not illegal anymore to use propaganda on your own government or our own people from our own government. That used to be illegal or immoral, number one, but illegal, number two. So they weren't allowed to use these techniques on our people until Osama passed a law reversing the law that protected the people. So there you go. And now we're getting videos of fake shit landing on little pads in the middle of the ocean. If you believe that, you got to have a hole in your head. I hate to tell you that. If you believe that car was floating around and didn't pop a tire in the vacuum of space, just that alone, God bless you. That's worse than ignorance is bliss. That's just you blatantly denying fact. And then these people get to vote and stuff. That's a scary part, but whatever. Anyways, this is the fake X going up. I don't see Felon or Felon Musk on here today, so he must be sleeping in today or whatever. I'm testing out my system. I got the video to finally work, but now I don't have audio coming off the app. So I'm going to go back on that, and then I'll be right back. There's so much news. That's initially what I was trying to get on here for, but I've been working on the software for the last hour, so it's so aggravating. All right, you guys have a great day. I'll be back with news, and there's a lot of it. The news I want to touch on today is a quote. I'm looking for it right now from the lawyer, Vijay or whatever her name is. I think it's Vijay, whatever her name is. I really don't know how to pronounce it, but it looks like that word. Anyways, she, a lawyer, made a comment. Besides the one I already reported on, there's another comment about the. I gotta find it. It's just it'll take too long to explain. But I'm looking for her quote. And then today, with Facebook getting caught again, Facebook's in the news every day stealing your shit. But they're not really stealing it because you authorize them when you sign up for the app that you could steal. You tell them it's okay. So I don't know why they keep saying to steal your stuff. But you volunteered your shit to Facebook. Again, these are Alphabet-owned companies. These are not real companies. These are not companies that are real shareholder-traded companies. These are not an invention of a 13-year-old in college because he was so smart, invented a worldwide company that rolled out worldwide immediately from day one, basically. With all those kind of resources, you don't get that when you're 19 years old in college. I don't care what idea you have. Try and get billions of dollars of investor money to set up an idea that you came up with while you're drinking and partying in your dorm room. That, again, is just from a common sense level. Let's start thinking in common sense. That doesn't make sense because I know a lot of people in that age group, and there's, 3 in the world that ever came out of a college dorm with billion-dollar companies already set up. You got PayPal, which is your Felon Musk. Also, Felon Musk, whatever his name is, he is named by name in the Nazi SS officer named Wernher von Braun. You may have heard of him. He's the guy who invented the company called NASA. It's a corporation. He wrote a book or some memoir, whatever it was, in the 50s or during maybe while he was killing everybody in Germany. I don't know. And he wrote a book about a guy named Elon Musk who's going to take you to Mars. If you don't believe me, don't believe me. But he did. So it's so amazing when you start digging through the bullshit. Excuse me for swearing, but this is just this is so ridiculous that you have to swear once in a while to get people's attention because they don't see this as a problem. They don't see the SS running our government as a problem. Not the government, but the corporations in the government. They run the corporation NASA. They run a corporation called the FDA. These are all companies. They're not government agencies. These are corporations. So you ever go to a town and it says incorporated 19 whatever? Didn't that ever? It used to. I was just wondering why is a town incorporated? That's what businesses do. When I was younger, I didn't understand why they're incorporated. Well, when you get into law and all that crap, you have to be incorporated to protect them from all their bullshit. So, anyways, that's a whole nother thing. But these are companies. NASA's a company, and now they're even saying NASA may be who the real government may be. Now that's the rumors going around. I don't believe that yet, but it may or may not be true. A lot of these things that come out later end up being true, and nobody ever goes back and says, oh, the And by the way, the word conspiracy is a CIA used term from the 60s when they were trying to go after the guys that were against the Vietnam War. They were losing control of the propaganda of the war, but I believe at that time it was illegal to play videos and stuff like they do now and run the news like they're doing now. After this thing was repealed about controlling propaganda against their own people, that's when you started seeing CNN and all these places do the fake news and all the bull, all the BS. That's when this stuff accelerated. So I may have to do a recap on that. I gotta look up the exact information, dates, times, but because nobody's gonna look that up, and that will show you why the script is now flipped on our own people. So you gotta ask yourself, why are they doing that? Or don't ask yourself. You don't have to ask anything. You could just pretend that there's nothing wrong and Disney's great and they're not evil and you're programming your children. That's great. It's awesome. All the symbols in there. If you ever slow one of their videos down, you'll see all the black magic. You'll see all the devil worshiping. If that's good for your kids and you want to keep going that way and you teach them at age 7 all the stuff they teach them now in grade school. But in England, there's a group of new citizens there who are deplorable. So it's even hard to even say this. However, they didn't want their kids being corrupted by anything to do with sex talk at that age. No matter what the topic is, they didn't want to do it, especially the topic. But they got it done. And now it's not in their schools no more in that area of England. So it shows, one, who's running England. 2, it just shows how the family values of the West are gone. Nobody wants family. Nobody wants kids. Nobody wants to be married. They just think they could run around and it's not going to go chaotic after that. You have to have family. You have to have community. You have to have your group of people that you hang out with. You know what I mean? There has to be those things, and they're separating it all by crap like this. These fake things going to Mars and the Venus and the Saturn, all stuff tied to worshiping the god of Earth, and nobody even knows what that means. So it's like, oh my God, why bother even talking about it? So I'm just testing my equipment. This has happened to be live at the time. Enjoy it. They're putting cars up there. They're flying around Mars. They're going to other universes. They're doing all this stuff. Everything to prove to you that there's no God. That's why you're watching this crap and why they're shoving it down your throat. That's it. It's only if you are a grain of sand, or what do they say? There's as many grains of sand on Earth as there are universes, or whatever the hell they say. Well, then it makes it really hard to say, well, maybe God's paying attention to one of the other Earths that he created. No, he's right here. He's right above the liquid hydrogen above your head. That's how there's liquid above your head when they talk about it. Hydrogen freezes at like 200 degrees below zero, whatever it is, which happens to be just outside our atmosphere. And I believe hydrogen is the number one thing on Earth that we breathe. It makes water. H2O, get it? So when you get up high in the air, hydrogen, when it gets really cold, turns into a liquid. How does that rocket fly through miles and miles of liquid hydrogen? Anyone? Matter of fact, temperature.
15 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5.
All right, let's take a look at this. Let me show you. I'm going to learn you something that you're not going to want to even see this. This is going to rip your cognitive dissonance right out of your freaking head. The top of the mesosphere, called the mesopause, is the coldest part of Earth's atmosphere. It's at minus 90 degrees Celsius or 130 degrees Fahrenheit. This layer is hard to study. Yeah, because they can't get up there. Let's see. Earth's atmosphere. I want something that shows you the layers and the temperature at each height. Hang on. Let's take a look here. Yeah, there we go. You won't find anything like the Earth's atmosphere among other planets. Yeah, because you can't leave here of the solar system. It harbors life by protecting the Earth. And none of this gas leaks into the vacuum. Somehow, because they say at the higher levels of the atmosphere, the molecules are so spread out that gravity just holds it down like a mesh. Okay, whatever. But any other situation, in order to create a vacuum, you must have walls around it. You must seal it. So a vacuum can be created in a sealed environment. I'm having a big problem with trying to figure this one out. Why does the gas not leak out into the vast vacuum of space? Gas meaning your oxygen, your atmosphere. Why does it not just get sucked out? And the answer is gravity. Gravity is the answer for everything. So, but even though they can't define it, they can't tell you what it is, they can't tell you where it comes from, they can't tell you anything about it. It just will use this magic term gravity to solve all the answers that we can't answer. It's hilarious when you start breaking down science is a religion. It's all BS. We'll use terms that nobody can figure out. We'll use math that only a handful of people in the world can even figure out, and you'll just believe us because we tell you. Let's see. The protective stratosphere, 50 kilometers above the Earth. It's 31 miles above. It holds 85 to 90% atmospheric ozone. It's from a negative 51 degrees Celsius at the bottom to negative 15 degrees Celsius Fahrenheit at the top of it. So here, negative 51 degrees Celsius minus 51 degrees Celsius to Fahrenheit. Let's see what that temperature is. And when you get that cold, it starts becoming almost the same number. Celsius, 51 minus Celsius is 59 minus Fahrenheit is what this says. So, let's look. What temp does maybe hydrogen is the wrong gas too, but I think it's this hydrogen hydrogen turn liquid. And now here, now you would say, why does the liquid not fall to the Earth? Because as it gets lower in the atmosphere, closer to the ground, it's going to warm up. Once it warms up, it turns back into a gas. Boiling point is minus 252 degrees. Melting point minus 259. It's a colorless liquid. Let's see here. Solids can be turned into liquids and finally gases by applying heat. 33 degrees Kelvin. Let's see what this is. Now we're going to look at what science is. Now, science and engineering are not the same thing. And I think people are getting that confused. When you're an engineer, those are your real, probably, scientists. They're using hard facts, like 1 + 1 is 2. That's how engineers think and use stuff. And that's where all our technology comes from, not from the science end of it. But here, while hydrogen is liquefied primarily to store large quantities above the Earth, the element at one liquid hydrogen is used as a cryogenic coolant. As this is what they use to freeze the evil ones' brains that think they're going to come back and avoid seeing the devil. That's why they're freezing their brains. These guys think that they could delay the entrance to meeting God and deciding whether you're going to hell or not. And it's amazing that these guys think they're smarter than God. That blows my mind. As a component of advanced fuel cells and as a critical component of fuel, temperatures below 33. Look how they got the 66 in there. They got to see. This is why I'm telling you, these science BS is always tied to the satanic shit. And you can't deny it. These numbers don't mean anything. They use them all the time. Hydrogen is the most abundant element in the universe, composed of one portion of a proton and one electron. Fine, I already said that. I didn't need this to tell me that. Liquid hydrogen uses, let's see, Boy, they're really getting around, like, where this becomes liquid. And outside, I'm in the third paragraph, and I still haven't here. Turning gas to liquid. Finally getting somewhere. Not all elements behave the same. They know people are looking this up, so they're going to be rewriting all this shit. Gravity. Here's gravity. There's the big... this acts weird because of gravity, so you got to shut up now. Whereas hydrogen is normally gas, solids can be turned into liquid. They're not telling you at what height either. So I guess I gotta do an actual real video on this where I'm gonna have to sit down. It's gonna take time to go through this, put it all together. I'll have the tabs lit up. I'll go live and we'll do it live right there. Bing, 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 bing. So there's a little balloon on the bottom right here. There's ad running down there. That's the same balloon that was in the SpaceX rocket. They're using a can of pop to blow it up so it'll float around. Alright. I gotta figure out my audio problem. So you guys have a great day. I'll be back though. There's a lot of news going on. Have a great day. This is WagsCgo. Testing, testing, and testing all the time. That's all it seems like I do.